Now we're going to practice solving multiplication word problems with multiple steps using our four-look strategy. So the Muleshoe Mules had a stadium full of people at their football game. They sold 824 general admission tickets at $2 and 554 reserve tickets at $5 each. How much money was collected at the ticket booth? So in our first look, we need to notice. What do we need to notice? Who is our story about? Well, our story is about people who are going to a football game. What are these people doing? They are buying tickets in the general admission or in the reserved seating. What is the question? How much money was collected at the ticket booth? So, we should have noticed who is our story about? People. And they are going to a football game. And they are buying tickets. 824 of them bought general admission tickets at $2, and 554 people bought reserve tickets that were $5 each. And our question is, how much money was collected at the ticket booth? And that is our first look. Now let's move into our second look. The Muleshoe Mules had a stadium full of people at their football game. They sold 824 general admission tickets at $2 and 554 reserve tickets at $5 each. How much money was collected at the ticket booth? So in our second look, we want to draw a model that represents our problem so that we know how to solve it. So we know that there are some people that went to a football game, and these people, they purchased tickets. Some of them purchased a general ticket. So there's one general ticket. There's a second general ticket. Third general ticket. And since we are only drawing a representation, we're going to call this next ticket the 824th general ticket. And we know that each of these tickets cost $2. Okay? But we also know that some people, they purchase reserved tickets. So there is one reserved ticket. There's a second reserved ticket. There's a third reserved ticket. And this ticket will represent the 554th ticket. And we know from our problem that each of these tickets cost $5 each. And from this model, we can determine that because we are repeating groups, set groups of the same number, then we will be multiplying. And we will need to multiply this group, the general ticket, and then we need to also multiply the reserve ticket. That is our second look. Moving into our third look is where we will solve our problem. The Muleshoe Mules had a stadium full of people at their football game. They sold 824 general admission tickets at $2 and 554 reserve tickets at $5 each. How much money was collected at the ticket booth? From our second look in our model, we know that we are going to multiply two separate problems because we had two separate groups of the same number repeating. So in our first group, there were 824 tickets, the general admission tickets, and they sold for $2 each. So we would multiply 824 by 2. So we multiply 4 times 2, that equals 8. Then 2 times 2 equals 4. 8 times 2 is 16. So the cost of the general admission tickets for 824 people was $1,648. Now in the next group, there were 554 reserve tickets that were sold, and they were sold at $5 each. So we would multiply 554 by 5. So 5 times 4 is 20. Put down your 0, carry your 2. Then 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 more is 27. Carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 more is 27. So it cost $2,770 for the reserve tickets. After solving both multiplication problems, we need to add both products to get a total amount of money collected for both types of tickets. Let me erase some of these numbers so that we can see. So we are going to add 2,770 with 1,648. So making sure that we line our numbers up with the correct place value, 0 plus 8 is 8. 7 plus 4 is 11. Bring down our 1, carry our 1. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 1 more is 14. Carry our 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. So how much money was collected at the ticket booth? $4,418. In our last and fourth look, we will use our first 3 looks to summarize our steps to show how our answer is reasonable. The Muleshoe Mules had a stadium full of people at their football game. They sold 824 general admission tickets at $2 and 554 reserve tickets at $5 each. How much money was collected at the ticket booth? In our first look, we noticed there are people attending a football game and purchasing seats in the general admission and reserved seating. The question wants to know how much money was collected for both seating. In our second look, we drew 2 separate models. Those models showed repeating of tickets and their price. I needed to multiply both types of tickets by their prices and then add their products for the total amount. Our third look, I multiplied the factors 824 by 2 to get a product of 1,648 and then multiply the factors of 554 by 5 to get the product of 2,770. Finally, I added 2,770 and 1,648 to get a sum amount of 4,418. That is the summary of the steps we took to solve this multiple step word problem.